This is the driveway garden. I have not finished weeding back here, so there's a lot of weeds that I have to get taken care of. But I have so many lilies, I have to document them, because last year I didn't document them very, very well. And so, now this is a funny columbine. Look at how tall and spindly this columbine is. I'm not really sure why he's doing that. But I love these flowers. I think they're really, really pretty. The bees have been loving them this year. Another lion statue, because I have lots of statues in my yard. And now we're going to get to my my garden bed boxes. So here we have a zucchini plant growing with some dill. Why do I have dill growing with it? Because dill is a host flower for swallowtail butterflies. In this box, I have dill planted with tomatoes. My goal is to eventually have a garden bed that is solely for butterflies. So I want to have dill mixed with parsleys, mixed with milkweeds. So another tomato plant and another zucchini, and then a pepper plant right there is a pepper plant, and then a second pepper plant right there. A smaller pepper plant, but still pepper plants nonetheless. Then I have my garden pots. These I still need to get the canna bulbs in them. But if you notice, this one has like a yellow, reds, and orange theme. And then that one is more of the purples and pinks. Then we have my raspberries that have gone a little bit crazy, mixed in with a couple of the grapevines. And then also this tree from heaven, which is actually a tree from hell because I really dislike it. This is going to be, I have a few volunteer cannas that are hanging out that were planted last year, as well as some milkweed over in the corner. So that is my goal, is to get milkweed to go crazy in this yard. I have a lot of weeds over in that corner I have to get taken care of, as well as a honeysuckle. I'm not a fan of honeysuckle, but it's okay in that corner as long as it doesn't go anywhere else. My lilies are already going crazy, you guys. Look at these lilies. I have hundreds of lilies in this garden bed. I don't know how many I planted, and I know that some of them have already started to split and create little baby lilies. So next year I'm going to have even more. I'm going to have to dig them up and then replant them at some point because they are going to be spreading like crazy. In addition, I have, in this area, I have 2 hardy hibiscus. So I have one right here and one right over here. They have not bloomed for the year though, so I'm going to kind of leave them for now. But they will, but I think eventually they might get too big for this area. But I have lots and lots of lilies, one of my favorite flowers in the whole world. I know that this is a weed, but look at how happy those bees are. I have happy bees in my yard. They're happy, happy bees. So I'm just going to leave that for now. In a couple weeks, I'm going to be digging it up. Another garden bed filled with things, filled with lilies, filled with daylilies, filled with... I need to remember what this guy's name is. This one I think it turns red. Yes, this one is a red one. Can't tell you what it is. These guys, I think that this is a honeysuckle if I remember right. So I have to dig him up. But look at that beauty. How can people not love lilies? I adore lilies. I have so many of them, it's ridiculous. My rose bushes. These are supposed to be these beautiful double rose bush bowls. They're like, the things from Alice in Wonderland. And mostly they've died. But this rose bush, because it's a grafted one, I have pink flowers and this kind of deep pink red color. And then the neighboring plant, it's just the pink ones. Kind of ticks me off because they were beautiful. I forget the name of this purple flower, but this one is actually a native wildflower in Indiana. It's a native flower, so I'm leaving it as is. And then we're getting into my shade garden. There's a lot of volunteers that are coming up in my shade garden. Back there, there's a, I forget the name of it. Hollyhock. It's kind of a hollyhock. But if you kind of look back there, you'll see it. I have some seeds of that have kind of wandered different parts of my yard, and so I'm having to rehome some of them. I have some coral bells back here. I have a lot of, I have some lily of the valley, and I have some some hostas. And I'm just kind of letting this go a little bit wild because I want it to be shady and beautiful. This is my little hobbit home, where I have an old tree stump that has been put in. Lots of different plants back here. I can't even tell you all of them. There's some English ivy. There's all kinds of things. They're all shade loving. There's my neighbor's dog, Luna, who's come out to help with the tour. Beautiful lilies. So the daylilies are in bloom back here. The other lilies haven't gotten into bloom yet. And then the hibiscus are not in bloom. So my idea is, you know, I have tulips and daffodils that have been in here. They've bloomed out. Then they get replaced by the daylilies. Then the Asiatic and Oriental lilies. And then by the hibiscus flowers. And I swear if my hibiscus bloom early, I will be flipping out. Then one of my favorite areas, which you can't see it as well on camera, but this is my wildflower hill. It is covered, absolutely covered, with these beautiful dianthus of different colors. So I have pinks and whites and reds, tons of dianthus. I had no idea how many dianthus I had on here. But evidently, I planted quite a few. I have quite a few daylilies mixed in here, but they are mixed with weeds, so I have to kind of separate those guys out. They might be rehomed, so I have to maybe rehome my daylilies from back here because the wildflowers are taking over. But I'm okay with that. Right along the edge here, I have some perennials mixed in. There is some milkweed somewhere on here. I have planted it, and I saw it growing, but I don't know exactly where it is. But look at how beautiful. Look at how beautiful some of these plants are. This is my wildflower hill. I forget what these purple flowers are called, but there's a ton of them. Benjamin buttons, I think is what those are called, or something like that. Oh, right here we have a little bee. Can you see it? He's kind of chilling. I don't know if he's asleep or if he's just died of happiness on my flowers. So I have, two little ones. So there's a little bee there. Another bee there. These are happy bees, you guys. Keep your bees happy. They don't sting. I've never been stung back here. I have a late peony. So this one's a white peony. This was actually a gift to me from the Elmo Funk Park. When they were cleaning it out, they had some extras. And they weren't going to use them, so then they gave them to me. So I'll see if you guys can see just how intense this wildflower hill is. So thousands and thousands of flowers, you guys. And this has been my goal this entire time. I want to keep the weeds out of here as much as I can. That might be a milkweed right there. That might be. I can't see it close enough, and I try not to walk in here because there's so many flowers. I kind of only get to weed things earlier in the year. At this point, I might have to just leave the weeds in there because they're harder to reach. This is a garden bed over here. I want to put some more new wildflower seeds in here. Maybe some perennials. And then I haven't gotten around to doing it, but I'm going to get this garden bed cleared out of weeds. I have my one watermelon plant because I need to get this garden bed planted with some vegetables and some fruits and stuff like that. From this side, you have to see my poppy that is growing in between my fence. I wouldn't be opposed to my whole garden being filled with these red poppies, but I have to have variety in my garden. So I want you to see just how many raspberries I have growing. Thousands and thousands of raspberries. I'm definitely going to be making some raspberry jams this year. And then as we sneak through the trash cans, you can see my last garden bed, which is kind of a mixture of a traditional garden bed as well as a wildflower garden. So I have this bright red poppy. And somebody told me, if you plant poppies, they're going to grow everywhere. And I haven't heard any negative when people tell me that. I just hear a positive. I just hear people saying, you're going to get poppies everywhere, which I don't find to be a problem whatsoever. So I do have a morning glory growing here. I am going to allow a few of my morning glories to stay, but most of them are going. If they stay on the fence, I'm not as worried about them as when they choke my plants. So as long as they don't choke out my plants, I'm kind of okay with them. But I have these little dianthus kind of sneaking their ways in. I like to plant things all over, and I like variety, as you can tell. I don't like just a sterile garden. Oh, my first hollyhock of the year, and a bee has already found it. This is my red hollyhock. I do realize that my hollyhocks have been attacked by this rust, which is kind of like a fungus or something. It's actually better than last year because I am treating it, but hopefully we can eradicate it. I just planted some butterfly bushes over here, so these are just mini ones. And they're doing okay. I think they're kind of shocked right now because they are just, they're just getting into the ground. I have two grapevines that I've planted over here. One is right here. This one's not doing as well. Not doing nearly as well as this grapevine right over here. He seems to be doing just fine. And then I did plant two fig trees, but I don't know if they're going to survive. This one looks, I think he's dead for the year. But I'm going to keep watering him. Maybe part of him is still alive. And then this one. And they're going to be growing right along this fence, if they do grow. And I want to sneak in here real quick so you can see those bees again. I have some very, very happy bees. They love my coreopsis. They love my dianthus. I don't know what this giant thing is, but I think it's a weed. But I do believe it also has a yellow flower on it. So I'm just going to kind of ignore it for now. So, in short, this is the main parts of the Mustard Manor Gardens. I have the courtyard, but I have to finish cleaning up the courtyard before I film that. But, I'm loving how my garden is looking. I'm loving these red poppies. I'm loving the thousands of flowers and varieties that I have here. I just love it. I love when the plants grow themselves. I did not plant this poppy, so I'm not sure where the poppy came from, but I'm not opposed to it. I'm hoping that next year, when these poppy seeds go kind of wild, I'm going to sprinkle them on the wildflower hill, hopefully get some poppies up there.